We're going to start creating our responsive web design. So open your Visual Studio Code or whatever you're using in this case, and we're going to be starting to create our media rules here. We don't really need to change any of our HTML to make this work, so we're just going to be working with our styles.css in this case, because all the structure of HTML is something we can already use, and in this example here we've been using display grid, so that's of course the way we're going to structure it. It's the same procedure as you would in any other way, so using display floats or display flex or whatever you're using. It's just you just have to use the way you build your page in this case. First things first, go to your CSS, and when we write all these media queries, we usually write them at the end. So in this case, I have my desktop version. I created that one first, and then I would create one for my mobile. You can also create your mobile version first and then convert it into a desktop. That's really up to you. Some prefer doing mobile first, some prefer doing desktop first. So down here we're going to do media, and then we're going to do media screen, and we do and we do this. So just like I showed you on the what's it called, V3 schools, there we go. We use these media screen and max width in this case. I like using max, that makes it easier for me to understand. Inside our curly brackets here, and this is the curly brackets attached to this media here. So make sure you created it just like this. And inside these queries or these curly brackets, we are going to add all the things we're going to change. Basically all of this we already wrote is being put into this one as well. So it's being inherited. We only need to write the changes that we want to happen. So if we look at our browser here, this we need to have something happen, so it goes to this instead. So we don't need to make everything from scratch, but just the changes. First thing we're going to do is we're just going to take a look at the body here. So the body in this, so remember, see, this is where body starts and ends, and this is where the curly brackets for the media queries. Make sure that you do this correctly, so it's inside of this. Really important. Body part here, we're going to use this grid template again, so we need a new template as, where do you go, grid template columns. As the top, or the entire page was built upon 6 repeating blocks. In the case where I did this, I only need 1 right now, instead of having 6. I don't need those because we need to do it in one column instead. I am going to just go up and steal actually all the code up here because I am super lazy and I don't want to miss anything. So I just stole all the code from the body here. This is being inherited, so I can just delete that because it's already been written once. We don't need to make changes to this. We only need to make changes to these 3 things. So I just wanted one of these fractions or columns. I still want to keep the rows because that's kind of okay. And I'm going to add a little bit more here, so 300. 400, this will be the 4th row, so in our case it will probably be the video with the SVG mask. If you don't add anything, it's going to start over from 40, so the video will be this big. It's kind of small. I added that, and then the grid areas. Right now this is set to the 6 previous columns we have, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We only have 1 now, and the first one should only contain the header. The second one should only contain the main. The third one should only contain the side, and the last one should only contain the footer. So we just simplified our grid areas to having from 6 columns to 1 column, and we just added another row to make sure it's growing in the correct way. So let's click save and see what happens here. You can now see there's a change. This has been going all the way to the side. The image of the car has been removed. It's now down here instead of up here, and the Yoda part is here. So we are getting closer to what we need, and now we need to make changes to the videos and this is being more in line and actually looking pretty. So that's the next part of the videos.